Something I've wanted to touch on in Resident Evil Village is the missed opportunities, plot holes, or maybe what ifs in RE8. I wouldn't necessarily say plot holes, maybe that's a reach or I'm too lazy to talk about them, but this is coming from someone who thinks Resident Evil Village's story is the best one. And the story is not perfect by any means, but before we get into it, be sure to like the video as it helps getting my video on the algorithm, and also hitting the subscribe button if you enjoyed the Resident Evil content that I've been putting out as of recently. And with that out of the way, guys, let's get into the video. Out of all the things I mentioned, the first thing I want to talk about, either a plot hole or a missed opportunity, is the attitude of Mia Winters in the beginning of the game. Just to inform you guys, I was aware of the spoilers in the game before the game even released, but Capcom making it seem very obvious wasn't really the best move in my opinion. But anyways, back to Mia. When she ends up getting shot by the Howling Wolf Squad, her reaction is looking at the wound on her shoulder. She wasn't screaming in pain or anything like that at all. She was just standing there looking at the wound.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
Then she ends up getting absolutely destroyed by everyone else that was shooting at her. And when Chris finally appears, Mia is still alive and she got shot almost 20 to 30 times. But Chris puts the final bullets into her, leaving Ethan shocked and confused. The fact that Capcom had Mia unfazed by the first bullet and still alive after the barrage she dealt with later really ticked me off, and a lot of people other than myself were already questioning themselves whether or not if that was really Mia or somebody else. But anyways, let's get into another thing which was clearly a missed opportunity, and that is Chris Redfield in that exact same scene. Chris not telling Ethan that Mia was actually Mother Miranda and that the real Mia is missing is absolutely baffling to me, especially when they talk about it around the end of the game and mention Chris's fuck up by not telling Ethan what was really happening. A lot of the events that Ethan went through was solely because Chris didn't tell him the situation at hand. It was low-key a blessing in disguise for the player to experience the Lycan attacks on the castle of Dimitrescu and the entire game in general, and along with the amazing environments. But in terms of the story, what a total fuck up by Chris, and I will also say Capcom as well. But now let's talk about when Ethan's hand got cut off by Lady D.
Your right hand comes off?
Good.
We know Ethan wasn't normal during the playthrough of RE7, but this is about him knowing he's not your normal human being. Being able to just pour some alcohol or first aid med and being able to put your hand back to normal and perfectly function your hand seconds later, wouldn't you ask yourself how is that even possible? Or does Ethan know that he has been a BOW all along? Clearly in the end that's not the case, as Evelyn had to spill the beans for him. It's something Ethan should have just mentioned or even acknowledged, cause man, that was just weird to see in my first playthrough. It still puzzles me after playing through Village more than 6 times, or maybe more, but anyways, I'm getting a little bit off topic. I don't know if this is something that people were heavily complaining about, but it definitely was a missed opportunity for Ethan's sake, or necessarily a plot hole. The next thing I want to talk about is Lady Dimitrescu. She was the definition of a missed opportunity that should have had more to do with the story/game. Her being the first of the 4 lords being killed off upset a lot of people, and including myself. Capcom got amazing sales, and a big reason was because of Lady D. A lot of people bought the game because of her. Like literally there are people out there that did that shit, and they most likely don't even care about the Resident Evil franchise. If I had to personally rank the 4 lords, this would be my list. Number 1 Heisenberg, number 2 Lady D, number 3 Donna Beneviento or Angie, and number 4 Moreau. I would have had Lady D being either the last one being killed off or the second last one being killed off behind Heisenberg. Those two were absolutely amazing for the game and were easily the best parts of the game. Well, one of the best parts of the game. I know Capcom didn't expect the outrage of people that loved Alcina, and I don't think they wanted to delay the game just for her to have more involvement in the story. So don't blame Capcom for doing that. That's why there is always a DLC, and hopefully we can get a DLC not just about Lady D, but all the 4 lords in general, and including Mother Miranda herself. We can't forget about her. Remember that I just mentioned Heisenberg a couple minutes ago? Well, this missed opportunity is arguably the biggest one in the game, and I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about here.
That boulder punching asshole! But you're first!
Could you actually imagine if Chris just punched Heisenberg out of nowhere and became Resident Evil's One Punch Man? I have no idea why Capcom didn't do that. You literally had one job and it would have done so much good shit. No, I'm just playing around with you guys, of course, but they did hit a home run with the boulder punching reference. I absolutely loved it and got a good laugh out of it. But in reality, guys, we are talking about the part where you get introduced to Heisenberg's factory and he offers his help to Ethan to take down Mother Miranda. You guys remember when you had to make the choice of either curing Zoe or Mia in Resident Evil 7? If they used that feature from Resident Evil 7 and put it into this situation, oh man, the beauty of this game would have been at its honest peak. I've seen this a lot of times, and so many fans are saying, what if Ethan worked with Heisenberg? And a lot of people want that as a DLC or just an alternate ending, and I'm 100% on board with it. Heisenberg was in that same tier as Lady D, but the only difference is Heisenberg wasn't done dirty like Lady D, but nonetheless a great Resident Evil antagonist. But what are you guys' thoughts on this video? If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and let me know what other missed opportunities you think Resident Evil Village let slip. And you guys kind of get that joke a little bit right there, but yeah, anyways, we're moving on. That is the end of today's video, guys, so I hope you guys have yourselves a good day, a good night, and a good sleep. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and much love. And be sure to tune into my live stream on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, continuing Resident Evil 4.